Hi guys, I'm Jim, and well, I guess this is going to be something new. It's going to be Jim's Gadget Corner. Today we're going to build a gadget that I've been using for a while, the one I bought, and it just doesn't seem to work right. You know, that stuff made in China, just not always all that good. But I got a piece of wood that I'm going to use to make it out of, the first one. But there's a story behind this wood. Let me show you the box I've got. I had a guy come into work about a year ago. He's just hollering, Jim, I got a skid for you in the back of my truck. And I said, Gene, I don't use skids. A lot of people do, and there's nothing wrong with using skids. But he said, no, you're going to want this skid. And I says, no, Gene, I'm probably not gonna. He said, oh, yeah, you are. Come on out and look at this. So we went out in his truck, and here's the pieces. I cut it all up. I was going to burn it, but I could probably use the small pieces on the scroll saw. So he showed it to me and he says, look at that. You're going to want this skid. The skid is made entirely out of black walnut. Most of it is clear, no knots. Here's the top and bottom boards. Here's all the 2x4s. And this one's got the marking on it from when they built it. I mean, does that show you how stupid Chinese are? They'll cut down a black walnut tree to build skids out of? Seriously? Well, I got this piece cut up. It's got a couple nail holes in it, but that's not going to hurt anything. We're going to knock the corners off of this on a 45. Make it look a little better. Let me get rid of this. We'll put you on hold and I'll tip this saw on a 45 and we'll cut them corners off. Okay, I think I got this set up to knock off these corners. I put my sacrificial fence on there so I don't cut into my good one. Yeah, we'll clean this up a little bit on the belt sander. Be right back. Okay, this is what we're going to try and replace. This goofy little thing I bought a few years ago to hold small things, especially small wires, to try and solder them together. But you can't adjust these. You can't move the alligator clips any closer to each other than what these are right here. If you're working with a small, fine wire, you can't keep the wires where you want them. So we're going to make this a little bit different. Okay, I got this piece of oak. We're going to find center on this thing and make a couple of marks. We've got to drill and tap a couple holes. And we're using one of these center finding scales. Kind of sucks the fun out of life when you can't think. Okay, we're going to go over to the drill press. We're going to drill and tap 2 holes in here for a 1/4 inch pipe tap. Then this is what we're using. It's a line lock. I get it from MSC. I'll put the description number. The part number from MSC is 09777 012. And it's a 1/4 inch hose kit, 13 inches long. We're going to be making 2 of them, so we're not going to snap the hoses together. We open this little bugger up here, dump these parts out. I'm going to take these are 2 nozzles that come in them. You get like 4 of them. And the threaded insert that you screw into the pipe on the machine. This is made for coolant on a machine. So we're going to go drill and tap this. And we have to drill these for this alligator clip to fit into. So let's jog over to the drill press. Okay, first thing we did is we took an old scrap piece of oak and I drilled a 17/64 hole in it. And that's to hold these little tips straight up and down and to keep them from spinning on you. We're going to drill a 3/16 hole through it so we can press in them alligator clips. And that hole size is going to depend on what kind of alligator clips you buy. Sometimes it holds and sometimes it don't. I just don't want to grab onto them today. Oh, lost my little part. Beginning to wonder if I was going to get through them. Now this is a 7/16 drill that we'll need for the tap. And I probably don't really want to drill all the way through this. Oh, we'll set the stop up. That looks pretty good, I guess. That black walnut sure smells good. Now we'll go over and thread these holes and glue the alligator clips into these nozzles. Okay, I went and grabbed me a tap handle. I think this black walnut's going to be a little bit harder to tap than the pine one I made before. Now I'll put the name of the company in the description below, the part number and their phone number, and you can call them and they'll sell to anybody. You don't have to be a business to buy stuff from them. I'd say probably 90% of the stuff we use at work we buy from MSC. Nice part about it, if you order from them by, I think it's around 5 or 6 o'clock, you will have your stuff the next day. They're very, very good on delivering. I just lost one of my fittings. I shot that little bugger right across the room. Funny, I was never that good in baseball. I think we better snap these together first. They're a little bit hard to do without these pliers. Now, if you're going to make these to sell, I strongly suggest you buy the pliers. These things are really hard to snap together. If you're just going to make yourself a pair, you can press them together by hand, but it's not easy. It's not real easy with the pliers. Now to get these alligator clips in here, I'm going to need a little screwdriver and a little piece of Kleenex. You're going to stick these in here. You're going to epoxy them in there with this 5-minute epoxy stuff. But what you don't want to do is a hole in the end of these alligator clips. It's where the wire is supposed to go in. And if you just stick these in here and put the cement in, it's going to run through this hole and it's going to seize this up, and your alligator clip ain't going to work anymore. What you want to do is, I just take a little piece of Kleenex and I poke it down in that hole with a little screwdriver. Want to plug that hole up till you can see it coming out right down here where the little screw is. Press them in here. There's one. What to do with the other one? And we'll press this one in here. Now I'm not going to make you sit here and watch me mix up this epoxy. I'm sure we all know how to use this. I'll mix them up on a piece of cardboard. And I clamp these right on the handle of the epoxy. Then I'll take the little screwdriver and drip it down in there. Now you want to make sure when you drip it in there, you get it down the center. You don't want to get any around the outer edge, or it won't snap onto the tubing. I did a couple of these earlier to let them set up good. And we're going to snap them on. And we're going to screw them in our block of walnut. Now, this was not my idea. I've seen this on YouTube. It drives me nuts when I see something. I've got about 70 people I'm subscribed to that I watch all the time. And when I see them make something, like there was one gal in Texas that made an extension for her table saw that folded down. I'm thinking, well, that looks pretty cool. But I don't watch television much anymore. I watch YouTube all the time. Then I come across a guy in, I don't remember what state he was in, but a year earlier he made the identical table saw table. I'm thinking, you know, if you're going to copy something that somebody else has already done, you should at least say you're doing it. Wouldn't you think? Now these things, you can grab your wire as short as you want. You can bend these in any position you want them in. And they'll hold that stuff right where you want it so you can solder it. You slide your heat shrink tubing down, you shrink it on, and it's done. Like I said, I'll put all the information in the description below, with the phone number, address, and anything else you might need, part number. And we're going to be making some more gadgets. I've got one here I already made. I probably won't be rebuilding it, but if there's some interest out there, I'll explain to you what it is and how to make it. I've got some, here's the cord you plug it in with. Here's some adapters, depending on where you go, and what outlet they have in the wall to plug this into. I use this a lot. My wife and I don't typically go on vacation like most people do, where they leave for a week or two. We just kind of spread it out through the whole year, and we just take off for a weekend. Well, this is what I use in the motel room. It works awesome, and the next one I'll tell you what it is, how I build it, and how it works. So stay tuned. Don't change that channel. And if you haven't already, subscribe. I got a lot of stuff coming up. I'm working on my snapper model. I got the motor mounted on it. It runs. That's going to be coming up pretty quick. So check me out on Facebook. It's under JNR Woodworking. I'll try to upload these videos onto Facebook after I get them on YouTube. If you have any questions, shoot me an email. Put a note in the description below. If you have something that you would like to fix but you don't know how, email me and tell me what it is, and I'll try to do a video on it. It's just that simple. All you got to do is ask. I guess that's it. Don't forget to subscribe, and remember to work safe and have fun, and we'll talk to you soon.